The key to understanding why trade is so fundamental to our lives is to understand the benefits of specialization. Of course, it makes sense that when I'm good at one thing and you're good at another thing, that we can both benefit from specializing and trading. What we're going to see today is that it also benefits us to trade even when one person is better at doing everything. And that key insight helps us understand how fundamental trade is to our lives and to improving the quality of our lives. To begin, we're actually going to have an example with no trade, just two people who share a house and produce two goods. This example is loosely based on my parents, Cindy and Jim. They're remodeling their house, and Cindy wants to paint the living room. Jim doesn't really care about the living room, but he would like to paint the dining room. Both of them would like to landscape the yard, planting some new flowers. This week, they have 260 minutes in order to make those home improvements. Let's explore in this example how specialization can lead to increased production without any increase in resources. To begin, we need to know how Cindy and Jim produce these two goods. And of course, it requires some resource, time. Remember that our resources are scarce. So we have a limited amount of time in this example in order to produce the goods that we would like to consume. Each of these individuals has 260 minutes to produce painted rooms and flowers. This table shows us the time it takes to produce each good. In some sense, this table represents the production process, how we convert our resources into consumption goods. We're going to talk more about how we model production when we get to the firm section of the course. For now, I've just given you the rate at which Jim and Cindy can convert time into the goods that they would like to consume. So it takes Jim 2 hours or 120 minutes to paint a room, whereas it only takes Cindy 80 minutes to paint a room. In this case, Cindy has the absolute advantage in painting. Absolute advantage describes the person with the lowest resource cost of production. This is what we typically think of when we think of the cost of production. We think of it in terms of the resource that is needed to produce the product. And here we can see that Cindy not only has an absolute advantage in painting, but she also has an absolute advantage in planting flowers. Cindy is better at producing both painted rooms and planting flowers. So she has the absolute advantage in both painting and planting.